So this can get attached right to the front of the card here, like so. Okay, so some of you may not have seen that video, the quadrangle tutorial. So you will want to go back and watch it because it gives you all the measurements, it gives you all the tips and tricks on how to actually make this card from scratch. Because I made that full video, I'm not going to do that today. All I'm going to show you is just how to trim this piece so you can properly use it on your card, okay? So if you go to that video, all the measurements and instructions on how to get these weird shapes are there, okay? So you're going to take your cork piece and put adhesive onto it. And now you'll line it up to the corner of the piece that it most complements, okay? So there's two really, really nice straight edges. And then what it leaves you with is some weird sizes, I guess. And this is all we're gonna have to do and trim. So you can grab your stamping trimmer. I have grabbed just my mini one so that it fits on the screen for you. And all you're going to need is to just leave yourself a tiny little buffer and trim off the edge. If you're really worried about not being able to line it up properly, just grab a pair of scissors and that will be an easy way for you to just gently trim as well. Okay, so now I should have a roughly a nice uniform edge for my card. Okay, so this one I'm going to attach to the top of the card here. So of course I will need some adhesive to put that together. So just along the edges of this project. Okay. And because this green background is going to be the same as your layer in whichever card I gave you, you're going to actually overlap the green part. So I'm not moving this down so that I have two green borders. I'm moving this up into the corner so that my two corners are in the exact same place. And I only end up with one uniform border. Do you see how that works? If you end up putting it down, it's totally fine. It will look just as gorgeous. So don't stress about it, okay? Now I did give you a couple pieces to embellish your card with. So we're gonna start with the gold here. So this is our gold vellum, and I cut it out just with the grain kind of piece. So all I'm gonna do is just take a piece of tape and put that straight across because I'm going to be adding this little sentiment and it will cover that up, no problem. Okay, so don't even worry about it, but you can take that off and easily attach this branch just kind of hanging towards the left-hand side of your project. If you went down too far, you don't like this, just go ahead and trim that little piece off. Now, before you attach this, if you do own the Nature's Harvest stamp, you can cut yourself out this gorgeous set of flowers. So I have stamped with early espresso ink on top of the very vanilla cardstock. And I'm gonna just show you how you can color that a little bit to get a fun look. So I'm gonna complete my card in a minute here. What you're gonna need to do this project are our blends markers. You can either use those, you can use the Stampin' Write markers if you really want, you can use pencil crayons. I'm gonna use watercolor crayons today and show you that little technique. So I have chosen Old Olive Daffodil Delight, and Early Espresso. And I think Theron walked away with my blender pen. Luckily, I have a drawer full of them. Here we go. And you need a blender pen. Okay? So, does not matter what color you start with. That is completely up to you. But I technically like to work lightest to dark. So I'm going to grab my yellow and I'm just literally going to scribble inside the petal area. Okay, so scribble, scribble, laying down a little bit of color here and there in all my flowers. Okay, beautiful. Now I'm going to take this blender pen and I'm just going to start picking up the color and moving it down to the other parts of the petal. So it does not have to look even. I want that buildup of color to almost stay exactly where it is. And I'm just moving the slightest little bit of color into the other areas so that my flower is all colored in. Okay. There we go. Petals done. To clean this, you just rub it until it runs clear, and then you know it's ready for you to use again. Okay, so my next choice then would be my old olive. I'm going to do the same thing where Stampin' Up has kind of drawn lines in the middle of the leaf. That is where I am going to draw my lines as well. Okay, so laying down just tiny, tiny bits of color here and there, like so. Okay, blender pen once again, and just start at the very top and pull as much color down through that stem as you possibly can. The leaves you can go over very quickly, pull a little color to the edge. There we go, and leave lots of color on those main image parts. Okay, clean it off again. And then last but not least, we're using the Early Espresso in the center of this flower. So I'm just scribbling all over it. And I'm just gently moving that color around now. This one you don't need shaded as much. There we go. So here is my little set of flowers that I'm going to add to my mix. So I'm just going to set those right on top. And because I had that strip of adhesive, I haven't had to add any other adhesive to the project, which is fantastic. So the set, I thought it was just really beautiful with its sentiments. So I chose Sending Healing Thoughts, May Nature's Beauty Bring Peace to Your Soul. There's also Thank You, Good Luck, or you can use any number of sentiments that you have. This little label I cut out of the Many Messages die set. And that die is just fantastic. If you just cut out a bunch of shapes for yourself, you'll be flying. So I'm using the Early Espresso ink because I really like brown on this card. But if you had black, if you had orange, if you had the Evening Evergreen, any of those, Night of Navy even, if you're using this color scheme, any of those would look great. I'm going to pop this one up on dimensionals. So just space them out a little bit, 2 on the ends, like so, and then 1 in the middle will work as well. Okay, and make sure that goes across that area that you had previously put some adhesive down. And then if you would like to decorate, there are some gilded gems hiding in your envelope. So the smallest one I ended up putting right on my tag here. And then the other 2 can add just as a little feature to the side here. Okay, and voila. So once again, here I'll move that because it's ugly. Here are the 4 color choices you may have gotten. So they're all stunning, but it is really nice to see them in combination with each other. So there we go. Good. Well, I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I know it's not the same as being in person, but I will be available on the chat, and you can send me any messages or questions you have. And this way is nice because you can also watch whenever you have a chance to. But I hope to see some of you next week for the Penguin class, whether you're joining me online via Zoom or whether you're going to be here in person as well. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. If you do have a club order to place or you want to order something, please let me know. I'll be doing a group order so you can save on shipping if you're going to pick up in Edmonton, or we can ship straight to you as well. I have a code that you can use when you're checking out online, or I can also do it for you if you don't have time. So I look forward to chatting with you guys all soon, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.